You know, I'm really trying to be helpful and to address your concerns. I'm also trying to give you information. Do we need another reason? Chris? Yes, excuse me, the Attorney General would like to speak. Ms. Patterson.
Yes, Commissioners and members of the public. Once the Commission makes a final decision, the Commission is not permitted to revisit that decision absent two things. One would be a court order requiring finding the Commission made a mistake and remanding that matter to the Commission for a new hearing, if you will. And the other would be a legitimate request for revocation of the permit. Presently, there is a lawsuit. There's a proper format to do that, and you can contact local staff and they will assist you with that. There is a lawsuit that was filed. It's scheduled for a hearing in July on the 14th. It was originally set to be heard last month. It's been continued in order to allow the petitioners, which is Citizens Oversight, to discuss settlement with SoCal Edison, the permit applicant.
Thank you very much. I hope that was helpful. It's not like we don't care about this issue. Obviously, we live on the coast too, and I think it's not just a national issue, it's a international issue, as we've seen in Japan. So I think all of this energy and commitment should be directed at the proper agency if you're really going to get a result. And I don't think being angry and yelling at us is going to help anybody. You know, it just kind of shuts us down and doesn't get you anywhere near what you want. So to that, I'm continuing with public comment, even though we're way past, but you're Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Okay, just state your name for the record and you'll have 3 minutes.
My name is Torgen Johnson from Solana Beach. I'm a father of 4 children living 30 miles downwind of San Onofre. I'm also a Harvard-trained architect and urban planner. Coincidentally, in 2013, in this very room, my wife and I hosted the former Prime Minister of Japan. We organized a conference, and it was called Fukushima, Lessons for Southern California. It's posted on the Samuel Lawrence website, which I also represent while I'm here today. I want to say simply, after hearing your speak and your legal discussion, I understand that you, along with the rest of us, are in over our heads with regard to the technicality of the fuel. But sometimes events happen that clarify the simplicity of the issue, and Fukushima was that event. It was a live crash test of a nuclear fuel facility and a coastline and natural forces, the same conditions we have here in Southern California at San Onofre. The lessons that former Prime Minister had to share with us are this. He said very clearly, I was concerned about the fuel most of all. My nuclear experts in Japan were anticipating the evacuation of Tokyo, 160 miles away, and he said that was a permanent evacuation. He said in this very room, I almost lost Japan. We have several Fukushima's worth of fuel stored in a deficient system 100 feet from a public recreational beach. When he saw that facility, he was horrified. He was horrified that we've been so misinformed about the nature of this facility and the fuel, that we have children playing in front of the facility. And on top of that, there's no public process, there's no public venue that allows the public to voice its concerns, to defend its public interest in this. Every agency is preempted by federal preemption to not talk about safety. And the very agency, the NRC, that's supposed to defend public safety is a completely captured regulatory agency. Thank you for reconsidering the permit, and understand that your responsibility in this is that you're one of the last entities that has any say in whether or not this fuel gets left there indefinitely. I brought my daughter here so she can see all of you and understand this decision. I know you're going to make the right decision. But I want to just say, there's been no public process. I've been to all the NRC meetings. In this room, by the way, was one of the former chairmen one of the former commissioners of the U.S. Nuclear Regulatory Commission that dealt with the 3 Mile Island disaster. And there was also the former chairman of the U.S. Nuclear Regulatory Commission. We invited and paid for all these people to come here to speak to the public and inform the public of what this fuel really means. If you want to protect access to the beaches, protect the public from this fuel. And I know that you've been lobbied by Edison. That's how they operate. They
I'm
closed
sorry,
down
sir,
the
your
public
time
system.
is up.
I'd like to finish. They closed down the public.
I'm sorry, I don't even know who
Thank
you
you.
are.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Beverly. What happens in the process, and I've seen this repeatedly, is that Edison determines the terms and conditions of all decisions. They're the only ones that hold the technical information. And what these agencies like yours have to do is rely on Edison's judgment and their technical assessment. But this is a regulated monopoly that doesn't even answer to the free market. We are all chained to this entity who has foisted a nuclear industry on us here in Southern California that we've had no say in any of the decisions, absolutely none, about our safety. Ironically, it's the Coastal Commission and this
Sir,
minor
I'm sorry,
permit that
your
allows...
time, I'm sorry, sir, your time is up. There was no speaker slip for that lady. There is no speaker slip, so may I just suggest,
I was
I am
granted.
sorry, I am running this meeting, you are not. Now, listen to me for 1 second.
And I'm protecting my family, and I expect
You are not
to have...
protecting your family. You are disrupting a meeting.
Ma'am, ma'am...
Sir.
Ma'am...
All right, take 2 minutes, and then public comment is closed.
Let me...
Take your 2 minutes. Go right
Let me
ahead.
finish.
No, I don't.
This...
All right.
The,
We are...
please
No,
let me
I'm
speak.
sorry, we are now on recess. You've lost your 2 minutes.
Please.
You've lost your argument.
Please
If
let
you
me-
would like, I'm
please let me
sorry, sir,
finish.
I am speaking, I am leading this meeting, you are not.
I understand.
All right,
And I
we are
understand that
dismissed.
you're in over your head, too, because
are
of your
dismissed.
position.